Hi everyone, we're back. We're going to do one more lesson with multi-step inequalities. I want to make sure you guys have been doing pretty well, but I want to make sure we just really haven't done some of the harder problems yet, and we also have not done any of the special situations yet. So hopefully you have a piece of notebook paper to take your notes, and here we go. All right, so let's start with example number 1. 2 times 3x minus 4 minus the quantity x plus 1 less than or equal to 1/3 times 6x minus 9. Now, at any time, like if you think you can do this, I would hit pause on the video, work out the problem, and then check. All right, otherwise, if you need this step by step, then work it out while I work it out. All right, here we go. Distribute. 6x minus 8. Remember, this is a -1 you're distributing, so -x minus 1 less than or equal to 2x minus 3. Just like with equations, combine like terms. 5x, -8, -1, minus 9, less than or equal to 2x minus 3. Now I'm going to subtract the 2x from both sides. So 3x minus 9 less than or equal to -3. Add 9. 3x less than or equal to 6. Divide by 3. X is less than or equal to 2. Now, for the most part, you guys have been doing a decent job with graphing. Just a few things. I just want to make sure. Okay, for this one it worked out because the variable was written first, so that wasn't too bad. All right, since it's an equal to, filled in circle, x is less than or equal to, so it's going to go to the left. Okay? All right, let's go on to number 2. Now again, you are welcome to write this out and then work it out and just see if your answer works. All right, 1/3 times 6x minus 9 minus 2 times x plus 1 greater than or equal to, ooh, that was kind of messy, sorry, 6x minus 4x plus 3. All right, so here we go. Distribute. So you should have 2x minus 3 minus 2x minus 2 greater than or equal to 6x, and again, that -1, so make sure you distribute the -1, minus 4x minus 3. This time we have to combine like terms on both sides, except look at what happens here. 2x minus 2x, the variable's gone. -3, -2, so you're left with -5 greater than or equal to 6x minus 4x, 2x minus 3. Add 3 to both sides. -2 greater than or equal to 2x. Divide both sides by 2. X less than or equal to -1. Now, you need to make sure for this one, and this is where I'm seeing the mistakes, I would rewrite it. X is actually less than or equal to -1, so that when you go to graph this one, -1, -2, closed circle, make sure you're going to the left. Okay, so that's where I'm seeing issues, is some of you are not rewriting it and then your graphs are off. All right, so let's try number 3. Okay, this one's going to be a little difficult, a little bit harder, so here we go. 2/3 times 6x minus 12 less than or equal to -2 times 3x minus 2 minus 1/2 times 8x plus 6. All right, again, hit pause, work it out, and then come back and see if you got it to match. All right, here we go. I'm distributing. So I would have 4x minus 8 less than or equal to -6x plus 4 minus 4x minus 3. All right, on the left side, nothing to combine. So I just have 4x minus 8 less than or equal to negative 10x plus 1. Now, I am going to graph this one again. So since I'm going to put the variable on the left just to make it easier for me. 14x minus 8 less than or equal to 1. Add 8. 14x less than or equal to 9. Divide. X is less than or equal to 9 over 14. Now, we've talked about this. If it is a fraction, you should put it between the two whole numbers it falls between. So this one falls between 0 and 1. So 9/14, closed circle again, and actually to the left again. So I just want you to be prepared because like some of the questions are going to be a little more lengthy, and I just want you to be ready for those. All right, so now let's look at this one, number 4. Make sure you're writing these down carefully because you're going to submit your notes again this week like you did last week. All right, so I'm going to make this one up as we go. 2/3 x minus 1/2 less than or equal to 1/6 x minus 2 plus 1/2 x. All right, just like with equations, you can eliminate the fractions. All right, and I wanted to show you one like this because you can still do it, just like equations. So your common denominator here is 6, so you would multiply everything by 6 over 1. So you would have 4x minus 3 less than or equal to x minus 12 plus 3x. Okay. Oh, and this one's going to do two things for me. All right, this one's actually a pretty good example. 4x minus 3 less than or equal to 4x minus 12. Okay, so this is a special situation because you should notice at this point that negative 4x, what happens to our variables? They cancel. Negative 3 is less than or equal to negative 12. Now here you have to be super careful. You have to read the problem. Is negative 3 less than or equal to negative 12? Yes or no? Okay, your answer should be no. Negative 3 is actually greater. So since your answer is no or not true, your answer is no solution. Okay, so you have to actually read the inequality, and since it's not true, it is a no solution. All right, let's try this one, number 5. Okay, see if you can do this one. Negative 3 times 2x minus 4 all over 2 less than or equal to 6. Hit pause, do the problem, and come back. All right, so here's what you should have done. Multiplied both sides by 2. Negative 3 times 2x minus 4, because remember this is one of those big fraction bar problems, 12. All right, distribute. Negative 6x plus 12 less than or equal to 12. Subtract 12. All right, and here's where some of you get mixed up. 12 minus 12 is 0. You still have a variable, so it is not a special situation. It has an answer. You continue because the x is still here, so you've got to keep on going. Divide both sides by a negative. Now remember those rules. X, 0 divided by negative 6 is 0, but you need to remember, you need to switch your sign because you just divided both sides by a negative. All right, remember that rule about when to switch your sign and when not to switch your sign. Now, if you had to graph this one, you would just put your 0, maybe put a 1, maybe put a -1. Okay, are we good there? All right, let's try number 6. 2 times 4x plus 6 greater than 2 times 2x minus 3 plus 1/2 times 8x minus 8. All right, hit pause, solve this one, and come back and check to see how you did. All right, so here we go. Should have 8x plus 12 greater than 4x minus 6 plus 4x minus 4. Nothing to combine on the left. However, 4x plus 4x, 8x minus 10, because -6, -4. Now, you should notice at this point, okay, look what's going to happen to my variables. Cancel, cancel. 12 is greater than -10. Is 12 greater than -10? Yes, this one is true. So if it is true, your answer is all real numbers. I know this is a little bit different than equations. It's either no solution if it's not true, or all real numbers if the statement is true. Okay, so you need to be careful with these. It's slightly different, but it's still, if the variables are gone, you've got to read your answer and decide. True statement, all real numbers. If it is not true, that's when it would be a no solution. Okay. One thing I want to talk about is some of the translating problems, because this week and maybe even into next week, we're going to do some translating problems. For example, the product of a number and -3 increased by, let's say, 6 is no less than the number, let's say decreased by 12. Okay, so now this is the one part that some of you need to be careful. Product means you're multiplying the product of a number and -3. So -3 times a number, so -3n. Increased. Okay, so increased by 6. All right, so the next thing, no less than. Some of you are not using your chart. You need to, if you have lost your chart, you need to go online and you need to Google like an inequalities chart. It's there. I've looked. Okay, no less than. That means it has to be greater than or equal to the number decreased by 12. Okay, so that should be your setup, and then you need to go solve. So I'm going to subtract the n. -4n plus 6 greater than or equal to -12 minus 6. -4n greater than or equal to -18. Divide by -4. All right, so first thing, n should have switched your sign because you just divided both sides by a negative. So it should be less than or equal to. That does not divide evenly, but you can simplify it down to 9/2. Okay, so now you need to make sure Google the chart if you need to, like Google inequalities or inequality symbol. And we talked about this in class before. Product means multiply. And the one that we always forget, the one that means divide, quotient. Okay, so make sure, take a picture of your notes, submit it for today, enjoy the rest of your day, and then tomorrow we'll do some more practice. See you later.